I've been wanting to make conversation cards for like the longest time, just as somebody who kind of likes to facilitate in general, but also bring community together. Allergic ka ba sa small talk? Hi, I'm Jen.
Hi, I'm Kookie.
And we're the co-creators of Ugnayan.
We designed these cards to make more meaningful connections with ourselves, others, and the world.
For those who are new here, Common Room PH is a shared retail and digital space for over 200 Filipino makers and artists. If you're looking for unique locally made products, we have branches in Power Plant Mall, UP Town Center, Alabang Town Center, Ayala Malls, Manila Bay, and the Atrium of Makati.
So Jen and I, we've known each other from afar. We were
Yeah,
mutuals.
moving in the same, similar-ish circle sometimes.
Nakikain ako sa bahay ni Jen and everything started from there. That's when Jen introduced the germinating idea of the cards. I remember we were talking about dream projects, things that were going inside our heads na parang we wanted to do. And somehow, we just happened to revisit. And actually, when Jen came up to me to design these cards, it was really more of like a designer-client relationship at the start. But the more that we got into it, parang na-realize namin na, oh, there's something here. Like, what if we just like partner together and do this thing and see what comes out?
I've been wanting to make conversation cards for like the longest time, just as somebody who kind of likes to facilitate in general, but also bring community together. And as an introvert, I feel like conversation cards really help. Conversation cards aren't necessarily super new. There's a lot out there. But I think what really makes Ugnayan unique is that we do have visuals that go with it and that we really celebrate Filipino culture and our language and yung pagkatao natin bilang Pilipino. Good Design Award was in our radar. Parang just knowing also that what they were calling for were designs that had malasakit in their intention. It felt just so appropriate kasi to us and what we were doing with the principles that we have, yung bukas na tenga, bukas na puso, bukas na isip, kung paano ba tayo makikipag-ugnayan sa iba. It just felt so fitting. So kapal na mukha, in-enter namin, tapos dahil di ko pa masyadong ma-distinguish kung anong category dapat. So, 2 category kami nag-enter. So, nanalo kami in both categories.
Masarap siyang pakiramdam nung dinedesign ko yung second edition of the deck. Even just like placing like the GDA seal there feels like, sabi ko kay Jen, like, Jen, lakas maka-legit. Just seeing it there is like, it's a nice reaffirmation na somebody found it meaningful. And personally, I find it meaningful that the metric of success there was malasakit. I remember dun sa creating the mood board part, something that I was really emphasizing there was the idea of connection. So how do I visually represent connection? And the idea of the tiles came in. That's why it's intentionally a square. So I think we don't get to talk about it a lot, that the idea na parang if you put tiles together, it comes up with like something more interesting. So parang medyo the design also dictated the gameplay in some way. Jen coined the term na parang what if we had an Ugnayan zodiac? What if we represented each theme with a particular image? And at the time, it would just be like very abstract imagery because they are quite abstract concepts. Until in that iterative process, and it just so happened na nasa Dumaguete ka at the time, inspired by the nature around you. Naging ganun yung link na parang what if we connected these themes to nature? And that's how the nature icons came up.
We lay out the cards, theme side up first. Once it's laid out, you can have whoever you're playing with choose the theme that they'd like to explore or answer questions to.
What you would do is we would ask, what calls to you right now or you resonate with at the moment?
I chose the laro or play theme. Kasi feeling ko that's been so present in our conversation today. Just here, being in the mess studio, which kind of invites a lot of play.
I chose Pasasalamat because lately, it's been a very busy couple of months, weeks. Pretty soon, I will be resting, sitting down, settling in, and just to be grateful for everything that has happened these past couple of months.
Yeah, and you can answer either the question on the light side, supposed to be easier, and then on the dark side, supposed to be a little bit deeper. So nakakatawa yung question ko. So parang kung maaari kang matuto ng isang instrumento, ano ang gusto mong matutunan at bakit? Tapos nakakatawa kasi recently kami ni Kookie have just started to take djembe lessons together. I guess music was something na hasn't been so present as like me learning an instrument in my life, but it's been in my life.
My question is, anong pinaghirapan mong ipabunga na inaani mo na ngayon? I think it's been a lot of things design-wise na I think it's been a series of leaps of faith, a series of pagtataya, especially since leaving my full-time job and choosing to go freelance and to pursue my personal creative practice. I think I am still in that process of working hard to, get to where I want to be, but also just the idea of being able to do this at this very moment. I think nagbunga yung parang all of the work that I've done before and the experience and the skills that I've built have like really helped prepare me to equip me and make me stronger as I go through this time of my life. Mapagpadaloy siya in a way na the more that we do the meetups, the more that we sell the cards, the more that we talk about the cards, lumalawak din yung possibility of what it can be. So, we're also led along the way na parang it just naturally makes sense to bring it to Common Room and to Anthill. And these are very intentional decisions. It's not just, let's get it to as many hands as possible. It's who are the people na we know we want to see it in. And
Feel values
yes.
aligned,
And
diba?
when Jen told me about this atrium branch, she was just very confident na parang there's just something nice that's gonna happen here. The idea that there will be makers and that there is the encouragement to make and to create in this space. Parang Ugnayan feels perfect for this space. We also want to make sure na we're intentional about our decisions to, get it to as many hands as possible. Personally, for me, to just see it on a shelf in a store and in Common Room specifically, it's still surreal to me. Like, hindi ko siya ma-process. Like, sometimes titingin ako doon, parang, andun siya. Kasi like, I go to Common Room and, I look at all of the things that these people create. I don't think it has crossed my mind until Jen brought it up, and like, I look at it there now and like, that makes sense. And it makes me proud to see something that I've created with Jen, for it to be there and for people to just, go around and like, be surprised by it.
I think first is play and have fun. And I think if there's anything I've also really gotten from working with you, Kookie, na may motto na paid to play, na parang I call Kookie kasi a kalaro. So parang ako yung tagapagpadaloy, which is facilitator in Tagalog. Tapos parang Kookie is the Ugnayan kalaro or playmate. So parang really to have that sense of play. And sana, when we're creating, hindi nga siya business first because that just sucks the joy out of creating. So how do we create first from a place of joy? And then I feel like when we're genuinely showing up from that space, it translates to what we create, and people can be inspired by that because they see that translating. So that's one. And then the other thing I would say is just lakas ng loob, tibay ng loob. Lakas ng loob to actually put your work out there. There's that saying that creativity is a gift, so we should share it with others. So yun, it's about putting it out there as well. I feel like everyone has something to express or something to say, a point of view. So being able to put that out there. But also, once you've put that out there, pag nakapaglakas ng loob ka nang ilabas siya, kailangan meron ka ring tibay ng loob na kung ano man yung maging response ng mga tao sa product, parang gagamitin mo as lessons and as learning na, okay, maybe it's not gonna be for everyone, but then maybe you find who it is for, or you figure out, what's it that I actually want to put out there, and how do I actually want to create impact for other people.
And in addition to that, I think I've learned like, upuan mo talaga siya. Sometimes what holds you back is, you leave it for another time because you feel like you're not ready. But sometimes you just have to sit down. You have to just like take it one step at a time. What's the smallest thing that I can do to get this started? because that will really set the momentum. And, I think it's normal to have that voice in your head that says, so parang, sino ka ba para gumawa ng ganyan? Parang wala ka namang experience dyan. But I think it's one thing to just really acknowledge na, okay, yes, I haven't done it before. And then just trusting yourself to try it. Something happens when you put something out. Something happens inside yourself and something happens outside of the world when you put something out. First, you really have to try.